Hi, I just wanted to share a story of how I got into nursing or what brought me into nursing. My dad had a heart attack, one that should have killed him 2 years after I was born. And my whole life, he was sick. He had multiple repeat heart attacks. He had to have tests. He was trying to live longer than what science knew about hearts at the time. But I had always wanted to be a doctor. And being around the medical equipment and nurses and doctors, hospitals, I was not afraid of those settings. But when I was in high school and testing, doing the ACT and the SATs, my scores for the ACT were not passing. Multiple repeat testing, and I still just could not get above a certain score. It wasn't high enough for me to go to college, apparently. My SAT scores were wonderful, but I also was not diagnosed with ADHD and dyslexia until I was 52. That really is the key behind my story. The high school counselor, based on my low scores, told me to get married and have children and put the thought of going to college away forever. Well, I put it away for a little bit. I graduated at 18 and a half, and at 19, 3 days after my 19th birthday, I met my husband, and we dated, and 3 months later, we got married. I had our first child, and my husband moved us back to our home state, and he went on recruiting duty for the Navy, and he had to go to a local college. And I, at that point, knew that stay-at-home mom wasn't for me. I didn't want to work for low minimum wage or just above minimum wage. I wanted to make good money. I wanted to have a purpose, and I wanted to have my own identity. So I applied to the college and started going, and ultimately applied to nursing school, got in. My parents supported me, but my husband did not. And we had a 2-year-old, and he was too little to support me. But the whole moral of this story is I let a 40-something-year-old man dictate my future, even for just a few years. And that should never have been allowed to happen. And I didn't come from a family of college graduates. I'm actually the first generation to graduate. My brother, and then now me. And I don't know. I am not unhappy that I'm a nurse. That wanting to be a doctor is still in me. So I'm going to be a nurse practitioner in August of 26. But the moral of my story is, if you are dating, married to, related to a nurse, and that nurse is not what you want them to be when they get home from work, give them some grace, because you have no idea what they went through on that 12-hour shift that they had. Maybe they lost one or two or more patients. Maybe they held a 2-year-old in their arms while he passed away because he had leukemia. So give them some grace. We don't want to be crabby when we get home. We want to be there for you, but we also need our cups filled up with love and understanding. So if you got nothing out of this today, give your nurse some love and some understanding. And if you're wanting to be a nurse and you're not one yet, and people are telling you you can't do it, I'm here to say yes, you can. Nursing school is not how smart you are. It's how determined, persistent, and are you willing to do the work? And I was all of those things. And I guess I'm now realizing that now I'm smart. So that's my thought for today. Thanks.